beautiful people, we're back again and we're going to be doing an SRT clearing on blocks to empathy. Blocks to empathy. So another request from somebody, so ensure you're 100% open to receiving healing, and let's get stuck in. Right, looking at blocks to empathy. Positive is a 0, very clear 0, and 100 negative, so it's obviously one that needs doing again. And in terms of consciousness, where are we sitting? Ascended Master, so which is 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5 levels above incarnational level, so way too low still, but not as low as some of them. So let's do a clearing on that with your high self teams, my God team that I'm working with, and raise it up to 100 positive down to 0 negative, which is where we want everything in this system, no matter what. To radiant love, new paradigm level as an absolute minimum in terms of consciousness. Clearing away all blocks to empathy. For whatever reason, tends to come from defense mechanisms, really. So not wanting to feel other people's feelings or what it would be like to be in that situation. And as spiritual practitioners, sometimes it is better to feel sympathy rather than empathy, because as that was advice that was given to me by my spiritual mentor years ago, because I would get too involved. You can get too involved. I'm strongly with a capital S empathic. I mean hugely, massively empathic, and many of you are that are watching this, and you can feel too much of people's challenges that they're going through. And so as a way, when you're working with clients, as a way of still being compassionate, but without getting pulled into it and feeling it and taking on the energy of what they're feeling, it's easier sometimes to be more sympathetic rather than empathic or empathetic, you have to safeguard your energy at all times. So, but the blocks to empathy, that's a different thing. That's having no understanding, no feeling, or being numb, almost being numb to it. And that usually comes from some kind of trauma at some stage, or needing to, block the heart off in some way. So let's have a look. Chart 6B, which is blocks to positive expression. Let's see what's coming up in this. Inside left. Blocks to faith. Outside left. Blocks to vitality. Inside left. Blocks to forgiveness. Outside left. Blocks to understanding. Blocks to gentleness, quite a few blocks there. Blocks to acceptance. Anything else? No, let's just clear all of those away. Feels quite heavy energy, actually. So I just suddenly drawn to a paragraph in the sort of SRT dictionary here, and it's entitled Chance. I'm just going to read you what it says. I mean, most of us will know this anyway, but it's just useful as a reminder sometimes. So many people are so desperate to get off this planet, I'm not coming back here, that kind of thing. I know that I am coming back here because I know that my work will continue here. But I hear, gosh, if I had a pound, a euro, a dollar for every time I heard I'm not reincarnating here, I'd be very, very rich by now. And I know that I am coming back. So it says you are not on this planet or in a physical body by chance. You chose this planet for 3 major reasons. 1, to work on clearing up your own soul records. 2, to help others in their spiritual growth. And 3, because this is the Master Heart planet and what is done here affects the entire one universe, you came to make a difference. So never doubt, even if you're not working as a therapist or a healer or anything like that, never doubt your contribution to the shifting of the consciousness, because just being here is enough. Just your presence, your heart energy, your kindness, your empathy, actually, your understanding, your guidance, your listening, your energy is enough to contribute to the overall consciousness shift. So never doubt it. Never feel I have to be a healer, I have to be a therapist, I'm not doing anything to contribute. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. So I thought there was more coming up on 6B. So you're contributing just by being here. Inside left, giving freedom block, inside right, abundance block as well. So let's just clear those blocks too. Missed those ones. Always takes me back to the chart if I haven't completed it properly. That's the lovely thing about this system. I'm not allowed to get away with anything. They always take me back. If I've gone through too quickly, they'll take me back to a particular chart. Right. Do what I'm told. There you go. They're taking me back to 6B. I've done it too quickly again, so there's something else to clear. Inside left. Which is that? Freedom. Is there anything else? Are you sure? Okay, let's clear all blocks to freedom. And just listening to these, just sitting here and allowing the healing from these SRT clearings is also contributing to the shift in consciousness. You're shifting stuff that you're not even aware of at subconscious and superconscious levels. And that's contributing to the overall expansion of consciousness and that whole consciousness shift that we're going through. I mean, that's, thank you to each and every one of you, because each and every one of you that's sitting and listening to this right now, I mean, a lot of you thank me, and it's my pleasure and my privilege to do this for you, but thank you, because all of you listening to this is helping me and everybody else on this planet and everybody else in this universe, because it's all, there's no separation, and what you do for yourself is helping me. And Joe blogs down the road, and it's helping each and every one of us, what you're doing. So never doubt your contribution. We're next. Okay, chart 13, which is programs before creation. So let's have a look. This is at King of Kings level, so subconscious stuff, that's a pretty much vague catch-all. So let's clear all subconscious stuff connected to blocks to empathy there. And a King of Kings level, if I just show you, is kind of the egg and sperm level of the soul creation here. Whilst we don't, in our current consciousness, we can't really know about, the soul just is. But in this system, we have these levels of consciousness that go into the superconscious, and King of Kings is a level which is the level of idea, which is the egg and sperm, if you like, the idea of the soul. And the spiritual body is the Queen of Life, which is like the womb level. And then the first expression of the living soul is at Lord of Lords level there. And above that level is God, infinite beings at infinite levels. But then we have the I am level, and there's levels within that, the Godhead level, levels within that. But because spirit is expanding its consciousness, we're going through all these extra levels of Eden as well, up to Radiant Love New Paradigm level, and about 100 and something feet off the page. So as consciousness shifts and expands, the levels of consciousness get created, new levels, more expansive levels. So everything that we're doing is even just something as simple as watching a 15-minute group SRT clearing is helping to shift the consciousness. It's some small contribution towards it. But the more people that watch this and allow this to happen within their energy fields, the more of a contribution that's making. So thank you to you. Thank you to you, each and every one of you. Right, where are we going? Chart 24, chart 25, which is at 26, looks like. Too busy chatting away. 24, 25. Challenges again, that came up in the last clearing. Things that are hidden, buried, or covered up that we don't need to know about them. So we're just going to ask that they're all cleared. And any challenges are cleared as well, which I talked about just now, I think, didn't I? No, last clearing. Which was on depression. I talked about challenges and that. So already I can feel the energy shifting with the pendulum. Lovely. And chart 29 is final blessing. Again, I'm only using the SRT charts for these clearings. I know other sort of healers out there use other charts as well. I do for personal clearings. I have some various extra charts and checklists and all sorts of things back here, but I don't for these taster clearings on YouTube. Right, divine plan we're clearing. So let's just get that divine plan cleared. So once the programming of the embryo for a new one universe has been finalized, the divine plan is drawn, which contains the potential for the extension of all that the embryo contains. According to Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, the heavens and the earth were without form and void, for as yet nothing had been created. The plans had only been drawn. The divine plan is much like the blueprint for a house that has not yet been built, but which contains all the details for the house in the embryonic idea. And someone asked me recently, why does the divine plan need healing or clearing then? Isn't that perfect? Well, if you imagine you have your house built in the 1800s with all the modern stuff in the 1800s, and then here you are now in the 2023 at the time of recording, things have changed. And so there's a lot more knowledge. There's better plumbing, better electrics, better ways of doing things, better ways of building, different fashions. It's all down to new ideas again, that idea and that thought, changing of concepts, and as we've learnt more, we've progressed. It's the same principle basically. So it's like updating the divine plan in many ways, bringing it into the 21st century. Chart 31, 32. Let's have a look. Which one was it? On chart 31 on the inside. The rim of creation. Oh, there's something else there in the inside. King of Kings level, which we just talked about a moment ago, the egg and sperm level of the soul, and the embryo we're clearing. Anything else on the inside, anything on the outside, we don't often get sent here. Blocks to luminous, which is a level of consciousness in chart 3. And factors again. Okay, again we're going back to those levels of consciousness. So let's clear anything that's stored at those levels there. Clearing away for your highest good. Spirit, do this clearing, please. So here's what Robert E. Detzler, the founder of the system, said about the rim of creation, because this doesn't come up very often. So he said, when I first was shown the rim of creation, I thought it was like a wagon wheel with 12 lines running through it like spokes. Later I saw it was a sphere with the lines meeting at the centre. The 12th line stood up like a steel rod, and the other 11 lines wove around it like a maypole dance. Spirit says the 12th line is mankind, and the other 11 lines are support systems for mankind. They are fire, water, earth, air, animal, bird, fish, vegetable, mineral, consciousness, and light. Only after the 11 are in place can man exist on a planet. Symbolically, the planet was 5 days in creation or preparation before man was created. There you go. So that all needed clearing. So there was obviously beliefs or programs or something that was stored at these varying levels connected to blocks to empathy there. So anything else? No. Can we go to mop up? It already feels loads lighter. So we're just going to do a quick mop up for you to clear away anything else that needs clearing in connection to blocks to empathy. Right, done. High self-team happy, spirit happy, soul happy, will it hold? Yeah, anything else to be done at this moment? No, where are we now? Blocks to empathy, 100 positive, 0 negative. There it is, radiant love, new paradigm level. Fabulous. Another one done. Drink lots of water, no more than 2 of these a day. And I will see you on the next clearing. Any comments, questions, pop them down below. I always try to answer them. If you've asked another question after I've replied, it doesn't come up on my app, so I don't get to see it. So always start a new comment rather than commenting on an answer that I've given, because it just doesn't show on my app. Probably not using it properly, but you know, you live and you learn. So see you on the next clearing. Lots of love.